Live from the Export Beer Garden studio, this is The Agenda for the 15th of January.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
Welcome into The Agenda. It is probably the first day of work for a lot of people.
Yep.
Sort of is for you, Lane, although you did the commentary last night.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is my first day back in the office, back in the office. And yeah, I think that's a lot of people. It's the first day back. And this is, I compare this week to like the last week of December, you know, where everyone's kicking it to 24 and not really doing anything. This week here is like I just got to clear my emails.
Yeah.
You know, I've just got a few things to get off my plate.
Some new stationery.
Sure, I'll get it to you next week. When in reality, you just want a soft launch.
I think there's a lot of people whose chickens are coming home to roost this week.
Yeah, all the stuff you kicked to 24 is now sitting on your desk in your inbox, and you're like,
Everybody's circling back?
yeah.
That you asked to circle back?
Yeah, the circle's now complete.
Should we put a pin in this and circle back? Well, we are now there.
Can you kick it to Feb? Can you kick it to Feb? I reckon you probably can.
A lot of stuff. It would depend what kind of line of work you're in.
Yeah, surgery and stuff like that is probably not so much, problematic.
Probably wouldn't. If you get a job that actually matters, you probably can't.
Yeah, that's true.
We can. We can't kick commentaries to February.
That's a hard deadline, a commentary. That's a hard deadline.
Yeah, and we had one of those last night, actually. The summer of cricket continues. There was a decent little break of internationals, and then it's resumed again on Friday night, and again last night as well. The Black Caps winning against Pakistan, the second T20. Milne was probably the star. I mean, Finn Allen would be the star, but with the ball, Adam Milne, 4 for 33. Ben Sears, 2 for 23. Phineas Slog, 74 off 41. He is glorious to watch in T20s.
Yeah, he's got the BDC going, isn't he? Because you could see, I think you mentioned it on the commentary, you could see as his confidence grows, teams must go, shit.
Yeah.
Because when he's got confidence and it's going his way, man, he can hit the ball.
He really snowballs.
Yeah.
And because I've been watching so much of the Super Smash.
Yeah.
Hate the way we name the Big Bash, Super Smash, all these different things. But I've been watching a lot of it because it's back on TVNZ. And you're not doing anything over the holidays.
That's correct.
So you're watching so much of it. And this is exactly how he plays, is he snowballs. If he gets to like 20, 25, you're in deep shit. Because he sees a beach ball. Somebody texted in on Friday night and said, does he have a bit of the dead shark eyes, Finn Allen?
Yeah, a little bit. He's got a big chin. That's hence we call him Chinny a Slog, or Chin Allen. He's got that wonderful, it's almost like a Lou Vincent-esque chin on him that we've compared it to. But
almost Cleary-ish.
Yeah, or not to know.
Cleary projects a lot more.
Cleary's in a league of his own. That chin that's comical. That's cartoonish.
Well, it's an elite chin.
Yeah.
It's the bumper off the front of a Wild West train, a locomotive.
Hey, can I just say, the Pakistan series, Friday night, the first game, within 4 overs of that game at Eden Park, that 4 overs was better than every single Bangladesh match last year.
Yes.
Automatically, it was a better game. It's like New Zealand raised themselves up to, because Pakistan are a good team. They were in the final of the T20 World Cup. They're a good team. Shaheen Shah Afridi, Baba Azam. They've got a good team. Yep. And you could see that we raised our game. We brought back in our good players, booking Kane Williamson, Conway, Saud, everything like that. It was like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, fuck. This is so much better. I've got faith back in. I've got my Black Cap shirt on now. I had my Black Cap supporters support group shirt on over Christmas, but now I've got my Black Cap shirt on.
Burned it.
I'm in. It's a great series. Great crowds.
And the flip side of that is true as well. We lower ourselves to the level of our opposition. So if we're playing some absolute scrubs, then we look like scrubs too. And you're right. Some of those games are absolutely excruciating against Bangladesh.
Unfortunately, weather affected as well. We went to the Mount.
Yeah.
And we did the 29th and 31st, the Caravan Festival end. We had a good night on the Friday night, but then it just shat it with rain within like an hour.
And nowhere to go at the Bay Oval either.
Nah, you can't shelter anywhere.
No.
And then on the New Year's Eve, we almost finished the game, and then it shat it with rain again, and it was Duckworth Lewis. Everything, no pun intended, but there was just a dark cloud over that entire 3 or 4 days at the Mount for us. And we had the Caravan back in the ground. Shit, it was good to be back. We handed out Steady the Ship hats. Everyone had them on. Had a good, it was a whale of a time. Totally blew out on our day off, as usual.
Yep, of course.
Went and played golf at Mount Maunganui. Logan Payne, the great Logan Payne, got a 12-ball off at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
On the 30th.
Wow,
And I've worked out, and I've mentioned this before, a golf course is like a airport lounge.
Time doesn't exist.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when someone hands you a beer at 7 in the morning, it's completely acceptable to open it up and drink it and walk around the course.
Yeah.
And let's just say on your day off, when you start at 7 in the morning on your day off, and we didn't finish till about 10 at night.
Is this the day before as well?
This is the 30th. Yeah, we had a game the next day on the 31st. We do our worst work when I got idle hands.
Well, we're also susceptible to first night fever.
Yeah.
Probably more, I would say, more than any commentary team in history.
Yes. Yeah.
Couldn't think of one.
We also start off the back foot a lot. My highlight, 29th, I pashed the Bangladeshi guy who dressed as a furry.
Yes.
With the tiger on his head.
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't see it coming.
Well, he wouldn't have.
And he didn't see it coming. God, he smelt though. Jeez, he stunk.
I saw that video. Well, I mean, I presume he's a tourist. You know, he's following the team around, or does he live here?
No, I think he's a tourist.
Because I think he goes around all the games that they play around the world, doesn't he?
Because after the first game, he got sponsored. He had some cement sponsorship on him. All of a sudden, he had this thing ironed onto his onesie was it wasn't lycra. It was the onesie he had on looked dangerously hot, and you could tell because you could smell him before you saw him.
Well, this is what I was getting at. How often does he get a chance to wash that?
Not often.
No. It's the hardest part about being a tourist, backpacking, traveling. When do you wash your clothes?
No, I know. Yeah, look, I don't know. But look, he got the shock of his life. I was roaming around the crowd with a microphone, which has never been really done before on the ACC commentary.
Yeah.
And that was interesting.
Presumably because of what you ended up doing with that man in the tiger suit.
I got egged on. I had Wells and I had Heath and Ben Hurley in the caravan just egging me on. It didn't take much, to be honest.
No, that's the exact same story that Dan Vittori tells about the skids that he did in the car on the field. That he's getting egged on by, I think it was Styrus in the front seat with him.
Fleming, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it looked like a great time down there at the Mount.
Oh, it was awesome. It was just spoilt by the weather, that's all. Which sucked because the 30th was a nice day. The 1st was a nice day. The 29th and the 31st were not nice days.
That's summer cricket, isn't it?
That sucks. But hey, sold out in the Tron last night.
Oh, yeah, it looks beautiful. And I guess one of the highlights of the game, certainly the off-field highlight of the game, was a 6 that went flying out of the grounds. I think it was a Whakasaman that hit it.
Yes.
Out into the street.
Into the funeral home.
To the funeral home. There was a man roaming out there. There was about 3 or 4 people out there. Bald man, blue T-shirt. He had the jandals that looked like they're made out of leather.
Yes.
He got the ball off the ground and just bolted straight away. Jet straight out. I thought he was doing it to take the piss.
I thought it was a gag as well.
I thought it was a gag and he was going to come walking back into shot. No, he turned the corner, bolted, ran, presumably into town.
The instincts, if you're standing outside a ground, okay, obviously you're doing one of 2 things. You've been thrown out or you're selling drugs.
Yeah.
So he's standing out there and you're standing out there because he wouldn't have seen the shot.
No.
All he has seen is a white ball come through the oak tree, bounce on the road and land in front of him, and his natural instinct is to pick it up,
see it,
and leg it.
Yeah,
not kind of, oh, that's interesting. Where'd that come from? Or maybe throw it over the fence. He literally picks it up, turns around, and legs it
and bolted. And if you saw the footage, I think it's up on our social media at the moment. But if you saw the footage and you knew that guy, it'd be very easy to identify him.
Oh yeah,
he's got a bit of a Christopher Luxon, Lee Hart vibe about him,
but probably a bit skinnier.
Yeah.
I think he was probably, I reckon, tipping the scales at 80 maybe.
Yeah, certainly didn't have the calves of Lee Hart.
Oh no, the couple of Christmas hams.
Yeah. So, but I'd love for someone to identify him and put him in touch with us. We'd love to hear from him.
Oh, we want that ball. We want the ball.
We want the ball.
We'll pay for the ball.
We're talking a lot about sports memorabilia, which we're going to get into shortly, but we would love that to add to our collection of sports memorabilia. On the field, though, I guess one of the biggest storylines is Kane Williamson. Bit of a hammy issue, bit of a rub down.
Is it hammy?
Well, he was getting some sort of leg looked at because on the Friday night he was doing a fielding a ball and he went to slide on his knee and it just dug into the turf and he sort of spun out and then he was just limping a little bit, hobbling a little bit. I was a bit worried on the Friday night. Then on the Sunday, just last night, we're 111 for 1 off 10 overs.
Yeah.
And it seemed to me like it was a precaution to be like, all right, let's get Kane. Like, we didn't know how his knee was going to go or his leg, whatever. Let's get him off. And they showed a slow-mo replay of the physio stretching his left leg out, and then that was fine. And then as soon as he touched the right one, they stopped. He stood up and walked off the field. So we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I've tried to look up, see if there was any announcements from the Black Caps this morning, but nothing yet.
They almost blew it, though. They did almost blow it because at 111 for one, they were going. Kane Williamson was on 20. Phineas Slog was at the other end going well. And I think they said, we've got to, like you said, we've got a platform here.
Yeah.
Let's not risk Kane. But then we had a mini collapse.
Yeah, we
they
did.
bowled 4 or 5 overs and we only scored, I think, 30 or 40 runs. And it was like, well, shit, we should be getting 220 here.
Yeah, we
And
lost 3 wickets plus Kane.
Yeah, and we only ended up getting 194.
Yeah.
And I was like, part of me was like, oh, shit. But in the end, Pakistan, when they had Fuck as a Man and Babar Azam in there,
They were rocking and rolling.
man, fuck, those guys can hit a ball.
Yeah.
Holy
Fuck
shit.
as a man can.
Oh my God. And even Babar Azam's first delivery, when he just went down on one knee and slogged it from outside off.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Who does that?
Those guys were banging, and they were already a couple down at that point too, weren't
Yeah.
they? So they were, there was a point where I think they were both almost on 40 in a T20. Like that's a rock solid partnership.
But
It
what
was
happened?
Starting to get shaky for us.
What they did do well though is New Zealanders. Babar Azam came in at first drop, and he almost batted through, and he only faced 40 balls.
Yeah.
So they did well at keeping him off strike. So he just watched wickets fall at the other end, because if they had him on strike, but we've got 3 games to go.
Yep.
And I'm picking one of these games. Pakistan is going to post a ginormous total.
300.
I reckon, and Dunedin could be it. It's got small boundaries.
Cold though.
Yeah, it is cold. You're
Cold
right.
for the Pakistanis.
And then the next two are in Christchurch, which could potentially be as well, because that'll be a nice flat deck.
Yep.
I'm picking one of these 3. They're going to post a big score.
A bomb.
Those guys are going to bat first. That's my prediction. I think they're good.
Might have to put our money where our mouth is.
They're great to watch,
later on
though.
this week.
They're
They
great to
are
watch.
great to watch. Great to play against.
And not as good as our new favourite non-New Zealand cricket player.
Azam Khan, he is the wicket keeper. If you've been living under a rock, he's the Pakistani wicket keeper. He is built like Shrek.
He's a fatty Bombaddy.
He is a fatty Bombaddy by any other word. He looks like Rakeem Cornwall, but we Googled him last night. He is 5'8". He was 2 years ago 140 kilos.
That is a big unit for because Rakeem Cornwall is 140 and he's 6'7".
Yeah, he's a foot taller, a full foot taller. He's saying that he was 140 a couple of years ago. They put him on some radical diet, and 2 years later, he's now reporting that he's 110 kilos. I don't buy it. I'm 110 kilos.
I like him though. I love his style.
Yep.
He took that catch down leg side, not catch. It was a wide.
Yep.
And he did this huge dive, acrobatic.
Yeah, it was.
Into a forward roll.
Yep.
And I think he surprised himself and his teammates, because they then surrounded him, high-fived him.
Yeah.
As a wicketkeeper who took a wide delivery.
Yeah.
Should be regulation.
Wasn't an edge, wasn't a wicket.
And he did the full flex. Said,
He's just a cult hero. He's a fan favourite. I love everything about him. He's like Valence Tafari in the NRL, who, by the way, lost 10 kilos over this off-season. He went from 123 to 114, apparently, he's reported in it.
Really?
Yep, so it's good to see old Val Meninga will be back out there for Wayne Bennett's Dolphins this year. But this guy, he's just got everything that we love about a cricketer. Like, every run that our team made, the ball had to go into the bowler's end because he was nowhere near the wickets, and you would see the camera whip back around and he's still standing there with his hands on his hips. He would field the ball on whatever side of the wickets he was on when he was keeping, you know what I mean? So they hit the ball out, say they hit it out to the onside, but he was standing on the offside, he'll be standing behind the stumps. But if he's on the other side, he won't walk around the stumps to get behind them. So he's taken a direct hit completely out of the equation. So if you're running for the non-striker's end, you might as well go, because you're not getting run out by, what's that man's name, Azam Khan, at the non-strikers end.
Or the Karachi wheelbarrow.
The Karachi wheelbarrow is a hell of a nickname. Apparently a lot of people have been texting in Kung Fu Panda. They really want him to be called Kung Fu Panda. My favourite one that came through last night on 3236 was Jabba Azam.
Yeah, that's good. I like him. And the way he bats as well is exactly how you imagine.
Yes.
He stands and just slaps it.
Touch of the Inzamamo Hucks about him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he middled. His first 2 deliveries, he absolutely middled through the covers for 2 singles. And then he got caught at mid-on by son of a Mitch. And I was like, damn it. Because we actually put a vibe bet on him.
Yeah.
The TAB. We were like, let's put a vibe on this guy because he's a crowd favourite.
Yeah. It was a huge vibe punt, and it was for him to score
Top score.
Yeah. Which at that point would have needed to be 50 something.
Yeah.
And
he had to win the game for them.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And we had a good feeling about it, but
playing 12s.
Was playing 12s. Wasn't to be though, and the Black Caps now playing for the win. in University Oval on Wednesday.
Yes.
And it's an afternoon game, so it starts at 1.
1, which is great on a Wednesday. Ease yourself into your working week. Lockie Ferguson's available for that one as well?
Yes, and he's on a heater too after taking 4 for 6 or something ridiculous for the Aces.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Who gets dropped then? Would it be Ben Sears?
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple of terrible drop catches though from New Zealand. One from Mark David Chapman, who dropped Bubba Azam, and then Ben Sears, who dropped Fuck as a Man, and they were both in their teens.
And they got away with it because we won the game in the end. But Sears was the first drop, and then Chapman did the exact same drop, exact same position off Sears' bowling, and he's got a very intense look on him, Ben Sears. He's he has a hearty pukana in his delivery stride, and you could see him shaping up to give Chapman a bit of a spray, and then remembered, I've actually done the exact same thing just 2 overs earlier.
And who would have thought that 2 catches from Ish Sodhi?
Yeah.
So fielding well.
Yeah, he was fielding well. There was a ball along the ground that looked like it was getting away on him, like it was picking up speed.
That was at the end there.
Yeah.
That was before his catch.
And he was running, he had this bizarre running style where he looked like a Scooby-Doo villain. His arms are cocked like a praying mantis in front of him, and he's scurrying away after this ball that started gaining ground on him.
And as Di Hem would describe, he then jumped on it like a rabbit. Like it was like a jumping on your prey. He just jumped on the ball. It was quite something.
Almost like Gollum trying to get a fish out of a river. but it was really entertaining. It's a good series, and I'm looking forward to this game 3 on the Wednesday.
I just hope Pakistan take it out.
Yes,
I hate to say
keep it alive.
Just keep it alive, because I just feel like if they can win this one and then we go to Christchurch for the double header on Friday and Sunday, it'll just add something to it.
So just
something.
Huge week for the ACC then, with the Friday night. Is that a 7 p.m. game again?
It is, yep.
Then we have the Black Clash on Saturday, and then another commentary on the Sunday.
1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
Full noise.
Yeah.
Full noise, so looking forward to it. On the commentary as well, on just last night, we stumbled upon a topic that really fired up the ACC audience. Lane, I understand that you and Paul Ford have accumulated a massive amount of sporting memorabilia.
A cache.
A gallery's worth, a cache.
A cache.
Enough to fill a wing at Te Papa is what they're saying.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've got?
So obviously we started the Beige Brigade back in 96, 97, whatever. And sewing beige shirts and selling them. Our goal was to never, ever pay income tax or company tax.
Yep.
So the idea was that we would have to obviously have more expenses than incomings.
Right.
So anytime, but they had to be legit expenses. So it was stuff like marketing, which we put under travel.
Yep.
The kind of buying memorabilia, we put under buying an asset, so we could depreciate and everything. So Paul Ford was a tax lawyer at the time as well, so it was quite handy.
So he knew.
So we were like, sweet. So every function we went to where there was any sort of memorabilia, we would snap it up, like no matter how stupid it was. I think we got a signed picture from Liv Tyler in her full Lord of the Rings outfit.
You still got that?
You've still got that.
Oh, yeah.
But there was those stupid items like that, and a lot of silent auctions, when you go up and you just put your price and your name, and you forget you've even done it, and at the end of the evening you've had 3 bottles of cheap red wine, and they read out all the winners, and you're like, oh, fuck, and you go and pick it up. But we've got Richard Hadley's car that he won in 1986, the Alfa Romeo, which is probably the most interesting one. Also the underarm ball, one of 2 underarm balls used in 1991 in the underarm match. We've got signed pictures up the yin yang. Probably the most one that's worth the most is a photo of Bill Brown and Walter Hadley, the first ever test match in New Zealand against Australia at the Basin Reserve.
Wow.
Signed by both of them. They were captain of New Zealand at the time.
When was this?
It was probably in the 20s.
Yeah, right.
20s or 30s. And all sorts of other bits and pieces. Heaps of shirts, heaps of beige shirts, all the jerseys up from about 1981 upwards.
Yep.
We've got cricket helmets.
Yep.
All sorts of... We've got a lot of shit.
Shirts.
A lot of shit. It's all in Paul's... Mainly around Paul's garage and basement. He's run a Fritzl, and he's got almost a Fritzl, but it's a cricketing Fritzl.
Yep.
So if you're a cricket fan, you got locked down there, you'd probably want to stay there.
Yeah, and you were pitching the idea last night on the commentary of taking their car on the road
Yes.
and just seeing what pieces of sports memorabilia people had around the country.
Yeah.
Like an Antiques Roadshow for sports memorabilia.
Yeah, and I don't think it needs to be famous sports memorabilia. It could just be something to you. Like,
Yep.
I used this bat to score 26 versus the Waimate under 12s. But at that match, at the under 12s, Richie McCaw was on the field.
Yeah.
Like, I want stuff like that.
I'd love to get hold of the ball that I charged down against Temuka.
Shit like that. Stuff that sentimentally means a lot,
Yeah.
and it's got a little bit of history, and then we value it.
Yes.
And then we tell them this is worth this. And we need people to crowd around the table, and
Yeah.
when we go, this is worth $1 million, everyone goes, ooh. No, oh, really?
And then they interview them afterwards. Like, I just can't believe it. It was just sitting on top of my mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And so we thought, what are some of the pieces of iconic New Zealand sporting memorabilia that you would love to see on this show if we could try and track them down? And we got so many texts that I felt like we had to go over a few of them today. The obvious one straight off the bat, Beaver's whitebait net.
Yep.
The net that he was using when he got the phone call.
I can imagine that'd be easy to get. I reckon he's still got that.
He definitely still
Yeah,
has it.
yeah.
He's still got the jersey, the small jersey from that final.
Oh, that'd be worth quite a lot.
I have his boots.
Do you?
Is
Did
the
you
story
steal
I'm
them?
sticking to. I suspect they're a pair of boots that have never touched grass, but I do have them. Someone else wanted a gram of the powder found on the Ranfurly Shield.
I mean, look, that's almost quite generous of those people. I'd ask for a few grams.
Yeah.
Because it looked like there was more than a gram
Yeah.
of that glue powder or the binding agent.
Someone must know a guy.
Yeah.
Someone must know a guy.
Anyway.
Someone else wants Kane Evans' armband.
Who's Kane Evans, by the way?
Kane Evans was the Warriors player who wrote "Fold Some Cunt" on his arm and sat on the bench. Yeah,
That's right.
If we could get hold of that armband,
That's good.
They
Okay.
got very pesty. Yeah, look, these are all sort of in the same thing. Eliza McCartney's pole, Sarah Ulmer's bike seat.
Schneebelgleber.
Someone else wanted Dame Susan DeVoy's G-string from the '85 World Champs.
Okay.
We're not going to go down there.
Come on.
We're not going to go down
Grow
that.
up.
That
Grow up.
Yeah, absolutely. Tane Randall's gloves.
But if someone can find that G banger.
Can you explain the Schneebelgleber thing again?
Schneebelgleber. That's Afrikaans slang for a man, Schneebelgleber, who has a penchant for sniffing women's bicycle seats.
Specifically bike seats.
Yeah.
So not bus seats.
Nah, bicycle seats.
It just blows my mind that that's happening so often that they need to come up with a word for it.
Well, that's why in Japan they've also got a word for foreigner on a bike, which basically means the bike's stolen. Because in Japan, everyone's bikes are registered. It's like a car, and they don't lock them up.
Right.
So in Japan, there's bikes everywhere, and the only people that steal them are drunk Westerners.
Foreigners, yeah.
So foreigners on a bike. So there's an actual term in Japanese, foreigner on a bike, which means a stolen bike.
Oh, right. Does that get used colloquially in other aspects? When it's not necessarily a guy on a bike, it's just a Westerner being a Westerner?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking...
A Schneebelgleber, yeah. Schneebelgleber, obviously a guy who hangs around bike stands, sees a girl pull up, runs over, has a hoon. Yeah, no, it's weird.
Aggressive. So, yeah, we won't be asking for Sarah Ulmer's bike seat.
No.
Tane Randall's gloves. I was a big fan of the Tane Randall gloves back in the day.
Well, he wasn't alone, was he? Because Aaron Smith wore the gloves for a while.
Byron
as well.
Callagher wore the gloves. I think George Smith, I have a memory of him.
I'm not against the gloves.
Matt Gitto wore the gloves.
I don't see a problem with the gloves.
No, nor do I. I think we should bring them back. I just think they were a little bit... They didn't really serve a purpose.
The fingerless was... Well, I mean, either go full glove or not. But they were fingerless, weren't they?
Well, yeah, because if you're using basically using your fingers, I think more than anything for passing.
Yeah, right.
So it's just over your palms. So then, what was it really doing? Was it sticky? I guess
maybe.
And then I think they started spraying their hands with sticky stuff and all that kind of thing, and the gloves became obsolete. I think it also went massively out of fashion. I think once Byron Callagher started wearing them, it was like, I think they're done. Tane Randall's fine, Byron Callagher, maybe not. Someone else wants the fog from the 2006 Super Rugby Grand Final.
Difficult to capture.
Well, and also difficult to verify that it is that fog.
Yeah.
You could just have some fog in a jar and just be like, this is the actual fog.
So it's just an empty jar, really.
Because I have a theory that a lot of sports memorabilia is not what it purports to be.
Yeah, there is a process you can go through to verify it. I've forgotten what it is, but there is. You have to get paperwork. It's like our underarm ball. There's a letter from the Qantas CEO to...
Oh, there is?
Yeah, all that.
You got the paperwork?
Who donated it to Wellington Boys College for a fundraiser for Bob Jones, and it was Renouf or someone else, or fundraising for the gymnasium. Anyway.
Right.
So you got to have
the pedigree.
Yeah. And also with Rich Hadley's car, we've got the ownership papers.
That's easy.
That shows the car coming into New Zealand, and the first owner for the first 4 years is Richard Hadley, Christchurch.
Oh, brilliant. Tana's handbag.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
Someone's got that because it went on Trade Me. The
Oh,
one
it did?
He clocked
Chris Marsoy.
Chris Marsoy with, yeah.
Someone wants the yellow sandpaper from
Surely someone's got that as well. Who's still got that? Who was the guy who actually
Bancroft.
did it? Bancroft.
Cam Bancroft.
If he was smart, he should have just hidden that away and thought, one day that's going to be worth something.
Surely someone would have said to him,
Keep that.
hold on to that.
Hold on, your career's over.
Yeah.
But hold on to that.
You're gonna need money later on because this cricket thing's probably not going to work out for you.
And look, even if he just went down to Bunnings and whipped a bit off and said, this is it.
Yeah,
no one,
that's what I mean.
He is the instigator, yeah.
Yeah,
So no one's...
Because how could you ever... It's not like they're going to have a receipt from Bunnings from the original, sandpaper that they got caught with.
He did get him to sign the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find out what grit it was. Buck's nut.
Might have been eaten by maggots and seagulls or whatever. The one he lost in Nantes against France, I think that's well and truly gone.
Daryl Tuffy's milkshake. I needed this one explained to me. Could you explain Daryl Tuffy's milkshake?
Well,
to me?
it's the longest shake in town. It was one of the first ever video sex scandals to ever hit New Zealand sport. It was two English tourists, female and a male.
Yeah.
And something happened, and there was a video of a late night dalliance that involved Daryl Tuffy and a milkshake. And it was videoed and I think seen by a few people. And then, like, when I say videoed, like a camcorder.
Yeah.
There's no smartphones. There's
of course.
It's like this was back in
the Sony.
Early 2000s, maybe late 90s even.
With the screen that flaps out from the side?
Yeah, like home handy cam, English backpackers who've got a handy cam. And it was duly wiped. And all that happened then from then on is people speculated on what was happening and what was done with the said longest shake in town.
It asks more questions than it answers.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
so we don't
various stories out there.
All right, that'll be a great piece of sports memorabilia for us to get on the ACC Roadshow. The dinted hoods from Doug Howlett's French Rampage when he ran over the cars.
It wasn't in France though. It was at Heathrow Airport.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was when they were on their way home.
Right.
And they just had a bender in the hotel at Heathrow. And he basically ran across a bunch of cars and
something like 14 cars or something, wasn't it?
It must have been great to watch because obviously he was leaping from car to car up and down the car park.
Well, there's rumours he ran a 10-second 100-metre in high school.
Well, he was rapid.
All-time leading try scorer for the All Blacks, I think.
And can I say he's still in great nick?
Oh, yeah, tremendously.
He is in great
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
They played a Legends touch game for the Blues last year.
Yeah.
And he was out there just carving up.
Yeah.
He is still Doug Howlett. The square of grass Jerry Collins pissed on?
Yeah, that's I believe that may have been Jade Stadium.
Yes.
So it might be quite hard to track that down. Or did they sell off the turf there? Probably not, because you weren't allowed in. It's probably full of liquefaction.
It's gone to seed, yeah.
Liquefaction ruined that.
Oh, it's liquefied for sure. Russell Packer's soiled shorts in a similar vein here.
Gross.
I reckon he might still have those.
The difference between Jerry Collins getting his downstairs out and urinating before an All Black test, getting it out, dropping a knee, had the good taste to drop a knee.
Yep.
And just out the side of the shorts.
Yep.
Quick wee, quick whip.
Well, it was respectful.
It was. Russell Packer spread his legs, weed his pants. And it was the bit for me that's a bit yuck is it was dripping just off his shorts and out his undies. Mm-hmm. That for me makes it a bit more yuck.
While he played a 20-minute stretch in the front row in the middle for an NRL game.
And you got to tackle him and you're covered in his piss.
I mean, it's pretty full noise, but that would be easier to track down.
Yeah, true.
How about the VIP pass Chris Kugelheim biffed over the fence to his mate to get into the cricket that day?
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, go on YouTube and search Chris Kugelheim VIP pass or whatever. It's a great piece of footage. Filmed at Seddon Park. Chris Kugelheim, heavily involved in Northern Districts cricket at the time. And they panned on him walking around the boundary. And the commentators went on, this is Chris Kugelheim, played for New Zealand, took Richard Hadley's 400th wicket in the slips. Richard Hadley still sends him a Christmas card. He had a pretty limited international career, Chris Kugelheim, but a big servant of the game. And they're just bigging him up, talking about how much a great New Zealander is. He walks to the top of the scaffold stand at Seddon Park, looks around like he's done something wrong, so he's done that, and then just throws his pass over the fence to a waiting mate.
That was good. A vial of Steve Smith's tears.
Oh.
Again, another one that'd be hard to verify, but we could just put just about anything in a vial.
Yeah.
And call that a vial of Steve Smith's tears. This one I loved. It's Richard Hadley's copy of 50 Shades of Grey. This was from a 7 Sharp interview he did during lockdown where everyone was doing the Zoom interviews. And to make themselves look smarter, everyone sits in front of a bookcase.
Yeah.
Well, in Paddles' bookcase is a copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
Look, I'd like to think that it was him having a laugh. But
I don't think he knew it was there.
No, that having kind of met him a couple of times, not really a lot, I don't think he's the kind of guy who would have thought that was funny.
No.
He's just done it. His wife's obviously stuck it back there. She's had a good read of it, stuck it back in the bookcase. He thinks it's just some sort of novel.
It was a weird period where someone would be sitting on the couch next to you reading 50 Shades of Grey. You're like, do you mind? I don't know how I feel about you doing that. Chris Martin's Aero pads.
Oh, yes.
This is the brand that the warehouse sold back in the day. I don't know if they
love
still
them.
do. Yeah.
They were made of this foam, like memory foam or something, and it was. I loved them, and only Chris Martin could pull it off.
Cost about $20.
Yeah,
and I get if Chris Martin would be like, look, I am the all-time leader in ducks.
He would in a team of number 11s. He's a number 11.
He'd bet 11.
Yeah. And he's probably still got those Euros. I think if we approached him, he'd probably be quite open for us to put that on the. He'd be open to put that on the roadshow, I think.
Yeah. Also coming in on the roadshow, Ma'anonu's eyeliner. This was iconic, and I remember it being so bizarre at the time, sort of like the mid 2000s. Like, is that guy wearing eyeliner?
It was a gag, though, wasn't it? Was it a deer?
No, because he did it a few times.
Hadn't he lost a bet or something?
That's what I'd say if I had been wearing eyeliner because I thought I looked cool. There's a guy with yellow dreadlocks as well.
I wouldn't say anything if I was in opposition.
Wouldn't say anything to him.
No.
Certainly wouldn't say anything to him. And I think that's why he got away with it, because if you were anyone else putting the eyeliner on, people are going to start asking questions about you, you know? Brad Weber rocks up to training with eyeliner on, someone's going to be like, hey.
Come on, mate.
But Ma'anonu shows up to training with eyeliner on. You tell him. I'm not going to tell him. So Ma'anonu's eyeliner needs to come onto the Antiques Roadshow. The banana leaf used to heal Waisaki Naholo's leg.
Yep.
When he broke his leg and was going to be ruled out of the World Cup, goes to Fiji for a week?
Yep.
Came back, he's like, no, it's fixed. And God bless everyone at the New Zealand Rugby Union because no one looked into it. They're like, good enough for me.
Yep.
He said it's fixed. His doctor over in Fiji reckons it's fixed. And good enough for me.
Let alone, and then meanwhile, he's just getting cortisone injections daily into his leg.
Yeah, and won't be able to walk when he's 40. Simon Pullman's teddy bear. I had to have this one explained to me as well. I had a vague recollection of what the teddy bear was used for.
Yeah, the teddy bear was stuffed with eckies, stuffed with pingers and sent back from Europe after one of his meetings, one of his kind of decathlon meetings on the European tour. Foolishly sent it back full of pingers, got busted. He did some time for that,
and presumably sent it to himself.
Oh, I don't know the exact details
from himself.
I don't know, but he abruptly ended his career. Yeah, unfortunately, and he did do some time, but fairly. I mean, anyway, not smart.
Martin Guptill's toes.
Yes, he lost them in a lawnmower incident. I'd say that they'd be difficult to recover, but yeah. Early doors, he lost those as a child, I think.
Yeah. It would be great to have Martin Guptill's toes on display. And finally, a signed copy of Beefy Botham's Deviled Sausage.
Yeah, that'll be difficult. It's his dick pic. He took a dick pic, and he's claiming it's not him. But it looks like a deviled sausage. If you dare to look, you can get on the internet, search Ian Botham dick pic, and you'll see a grey boiled deviled sausage. He still denies it to this day. He's gone the full deny.
Yep.
He's gone the full shaggy.
Yep.
He's denying everything. So I don't know if you'll get it in. Maybe if you asked him for his autograph on a blank piece of card, but on the other side was his dick pic, maybe.
Yep. That might be the only way to do it. Well, those are some of the best things that we had on 3236. I feel like there's a couple of glaring ones that I can't think of that we've missed, but we can still see your text on 3236. So if you're listening to this and you think of one, let us know, or jump on the old microphone function on your iHeartradio app and let us know what we missed. little bit of golf action going on at the moment. The Dubai Invitational happened across the weekend, Lane.
Yep.
Our dear friend Ryan Fox, he finished 14th. Rory McIlroy, proving that no matter what level you get to at golf, golf is golf. He 3-putted from 2 feet out, and then on the very next hole, hit it straight into the water. Dropped lip and ended up losing. He came second to Tommy Fleetwood, and it cost Rory McIlroy $330K. But the most interesting thing that happened at the Dubai Invitational was a bloke by the name of Ken Wayand. Ken Wayand. He's a 54-year-old former professional. He's like a golf pro at a local course now.
Yeah.
He gained entry to the Dubai Invitational over the weekend, seemingly just because he's good mates with Michael Jordan.
Seems legit to me.
Yeah, it does.
Like the kind of most successful, probably most powerful sports star on the world
of all time.
Yeah.
Gets his mate Ken Wayand invitation. If it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen at the Dubai Invitational too.
I don't see what the problem is. Like, basically, the guy's running this Dubai. It's an invitational, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
So you get a call from MJ.
Yeah.
G'day, Michael Jordan here.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, g'day, MJ. Yeah, how you going? Hey, I got a mate. He wants to play this weekend. Is that cool?
Yep.
Totes.
Absolutely.
I think that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, well, that's right. And like I said, former professional. Ken Wayand completed the weekend at 53 over par.
I'd take that.
Tommy Fleetwood, by comparison, who won, he beat him by 72 strokes. That's one per hole.
I'd take that. I'd take that if I'm Ken Wayand, like, you know.
So what's that? It's about 20 over par. So he's shooting 90s for the whole weekend. It's 3 rounds. You shoot 90 each round?
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that. I also think with a few months' practice, I could probably do that.
I think, Ken, do you think he cares?
I don't think Ken gives a shit. What? Some people are getting upset because it's a guaranteed prize pool of £6,500, which is what, like 12 grand here.
Right.
And they're saying that spot could have gone to a struggling amateur or you know, recently turned pro who needed the extra money.
So you reckon MJ's gone, like, here's 20 grand. Just let him play.
Yeah.
And you can use that 20 grand to pay him.
I reckon he's gone to whoever the organiser was and said, we want him in. They would have called the local sheikh, maybe Sheikh Mo.
Sheikh would have been definitely Sheikh Mo.
Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, may peace be upon you. Michael Jordan's got a mate that wants to play in the thing. And Sheikh Mo, in his infinite wisdom, would have said, sweet, but you're coming to my birthday party this year, Michael.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how that would have gone.
And he gone, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. And he won't turn
I'll pay you $1 billion.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I need you to come to the birthday party.
And your mate Ken Boy can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Alker has also been confirmed for the New Zealand Open.
Ooh.
He's never won the New Zealand Open. I'll tell you what he has won, $12 million last year on the Champions Tour. He did not finish in the top 10 in any of his 87 PGA Tour starts, but he has been cleaning up on the Champions Tour, which is the over 50s.
Yeah.
But yeah, has never won the New Zealand Open.
Hillier, did you say Hillier and Ben Chapman?
Hillier, Ben Campbell, yeah.
Ben Campbell.
Are also going to be playing. You've been playing a bit of golf over the Christmas?
Yes, I played a game at Centennial.
Where's that?
In Taupo. There's 2 courses. There's Tauhara and Centennial. And I got invited by a couple of locals who live out in Hātepe to go and play. And it was good. It was a tee off at about 11 o'clock in the morning. We played basically a 2-ball Ambrose format, but it wasn't pick up your ball. It was whoever kind of match play per hole, but you didn't pick up balls, if you know what I mean. So whoever won the hole, you could give them a stroke. So anyway, we were going okay. I got partnered with this guy Chris. He could hit a big ball. Anyway, there was a couple of occasions where Chris, who could hit my partner, there was a 4-ball in front of us, local 4-ball, bit older. They were all in carts, okay. But playing quite slowly. We were walking. They're in carts. There's no one in front of them. And it started to get a bit, so we were not hitting up on them, but getting close to it. And I think at about the 12th hole, the guy turned around in his cart and drove back up the fairway.
Oh, shit.
And had a word to Chris saying, hey, you nearly hit us. It's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And Chris was like, oh, okay, but I couldn't, it was around like a dog leg left, and we couldn't actually see whether they'd gone or not.
Yeah. And we presume that any self-respecting golfer would have moved on past where you actually were.
Yeah, and also they're in carts.
And also you're in carts.
Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't playing overly. There's a couple of holes I just picked my ball up and gave up because I wasn't having a great day. It was hot, windy.
Yeah.
And the 17th at Centennial is quite a short par 4. and I was teeing up first. They were still on the green, this group of 4, and I looked at the rest of my playing partners. There was 2 Chris's and a Bobby.
Yep.
And I was like, boys, shall I just go? And they're like, yeah, let's go, mate. Like, you're not going to.
Well, the guys in front of you have hit their second shot.
I don't think you're gonna get it on there. Anyway, I absolutely creamed the drive. So much so I couldn't watch it because I saw it draw around and I was like, holy shit. And then it hit this like about 10 meters before the green and dribbled up within a foot of the hole, and they were still putting. And I raised my hand like as a sorry. And the rest of the group were bent over laughing. They're like, oh, fuck, this is going to be good. And I said, you know what? This is good, actually, because I haven't had a confrontation in a long time on a golf course. I wasn't looking for a confrontation, but I knew it was coming.
Nah, but you've got it in you. You've got a timer. You need to.
Anyway, so they go off the green, and the tee box is right next to the green. Everyone else tees off, misses the green by miles.
Of course.
I go up, and the last cart's there, and I said, hey, look, sorry.
Didn't think I had it in me.
I didn't think I had it in me at all. I play off like a 22. There's no sorry about that. And then he goes, that's not cool, man. It's just not cool doing that. And I was like, hey, I've apologized, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what you want more from me than me saying sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And he was like, it's just uncool, mate. Well, you've been hitting us all day. That's the 5th time you've hit up. And I went, 5th time? Mate, I've been spraying it everywhere. There's the one time you've been hit up twice, but 5 times? Can you name the 5 holes we've hit up on you? And then his wife leans over and goes, people die, you know. And I went, not today, love. Yeah. No one died today. No one died of a ball dribbling up into your ankle on the green. And the guy looked at me and he goes, yeah. And I said, but no one died today. Everyone's had a happy day. Everyone happy? Everyone had a good day? Because they were on the 18th. Yeah. And he just drove off sneering at me and goes, you're good. You're good. Drove off. I don't know what that meant. You're good.
He just didn't know how to have a confrontation.
And he had a floral shirt on as well, like a party shirt. And I was like, get out of here. Yeah. But anyway, it was good. It was a good little confrontation. Anyway, long story short, putted it, eagle.
Hell yeah.
First ever eagle.
Hell yeah. You should have actually just walked up into the middle of that group, drained it.
Well, I said to him, I think I was going to say to the guy, did that actually go in the hole and you guys took it out? Because that would have been quite I'm pretty sure they went in. Did you guys take that out?
Have you ever had a guy hit the ball back at you?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that once.
Yeah, it's like, come on. But it's like, people do not die from being hit up on when it just dribbles up to their feet.
If it bounces, it can't kill you, is my rule.
Correct.
It could barely hurt you
and
if it bounces.
And when was the last time someone died of a golf ball in New Zealand? I want that fact in front of me.
You would have to be basically standing about 10 feet in front of the person.
Yes, I know there's some people who have been at the tee box and been seriously injured by a ball slicing, but not being hit up on.
No.
Okay, anyway.
I understand, but then also if you're being hit up on, you should evaluate your own game. And because I think about this sometimes, every now and then a ball will, roll up at your heels like you did there. My first instinct is look ahead of me. Is there anyone in front of me? If there's not, I'm the asshole.
Yeah, and they're on carts. These guys were on carts.
Yeah.
All 4 of them on carts. It's like
the one that kills me is when it's newbies, because I play at public courses, newbies everywhere, and all 4 of them, they can't hit a ball, and they walk all 4 to each individual ball. Oh, yeah. That kills me, and I'm going to start hitting up on you if you're doing that. And the other one is there was a group of 4 shirtless dudes playing yesterday, the old Chamberlain polo. But yeah, so Alka is going to go hard at the NZ Open. Is the long and short of all of that. It's been a bit of a weather event in the US, and the National Football League's been impacted by this. Buffalo is meant to be hosting an NFL playoff game, but the snow is apocalyptic. So what they've done is they're asking for fans to help shovel snow for $20 an hour and a bit of food. And they've showed up in their droves. The Buffalo, it's like upstate New York. Their stadium is kind of like Eden Park, where it's in a built-up residential area.
It's the Bills Mafia, isn't it?
Yeah, and so all the locals have just showed up with their shovels and they're getting stuck in, and they've cleared the field.
I also saw that the Kansas City Dolphins game.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, but it was minus 20 degrees.
Yes.
And did you see the footage of the person going to the concession and grabbing a water?
No.
So there's this video of a fan going to the fridge, which is obviously warmer than the conditions outside, and he goes and grabs a bottle of water, brings it out, and closes the fridge, and you can see it turning to ice from the bottom up.
My
The bottle
God.
just turns to ice. You can see the ice forming and it changing colour, so you can't actually drink it because he pulled it out of the fridge and it freezes. That's no place to pay sport.
There's no place to live.
Yeah.
Why are you there? It's like when Oklahoma gets torn up by tornadoes again every year, and you're like, move? Like, why? How many times are you going to stay there?
And Mahomes' helmet shattered.
Yeah, so he took a run, and it was so cold, as he said, -20, that the helmets are made out of, I don't think it's metal, it's some sort of, fiberglass type situation. And it was so cold that it had become brittle, and he got tackled. It wasn't one of those, sickening NFL head-on-head clashes, but the helmets touched, and a giant chunk of his helmet just came flying out. The helmet, shattered. And he's standing there with a big piece of his helmet missing. It's ridiculous. And then you see these other super stadiums, and I think they're in Texas, and they've got roofs on them.
Yeah.
You couldn't get one of those. You couldn't chuck a roof on the Buffalo Bills stadium. Would it kill you?
Yeah, those are massive, big, wide stadiums, though, eh? They're those big arenas.
Yeah, they are.
That just,
Oh,
I don't think it's even possible to put a roof.
That would hold that amount of
Yeah.
snow. That's a good point. That's like when with the velodrome, the roof on the velodrome in Invercargill, when it snowed and it caved in.
Yeah, that was about 5 centimetres of snow.
Yeah. The Southern Steel had to play outside for the rest of their competition. Just to mop up a few other random bits and pieces around the traps. Grant Robertson attended Jacinda and Clark's wedding. She looked beautiful on the day. It was in Hawke's Bay.
Is that Craggy Range?
Great weather as well for that. Grant Robertson wearing a Steady the Ship hat
Yes.
at some point during the wedding.
Yeah, it was the day before the wedding. He was going to check out just everything was going swimmingly. Looked resplendent first of all in a New Zealand Music Month T-shirt.
Yeah, former band manager of Deja Voodoo.
Yep, so a free T-shirt from New Zealand on air and a Steady the Ship hat, which we gifted him.
So he was wearing an entirely free outfit. That's my finance minister.
Great outfit, though, yeah. That's the kind of finance minister you want. But
Yeah.
no, he used to manage Matt's band, so he's visited us a few times. We're down in Wellington when we used to commentate. He used to pop in and say good day. He's a huge fan of the ACC and huge fan of cricket. So pretty funny, though, that he chose to wear a Steady the Ship hat on a blistering hot day in Hawke's Bay. Offers zero sun protection.
No.
Zero. Maybe the top bridge of your nose. That's about it.
Forehead, I'll give
But
you.
it screams party.
100%.
As soon as you put that hat on, it screams, I'm here for a good time.
You think a bit of First Night Fever then?
And I think he definitely tailed into it. He's like, I'm here to party.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Staying on politics, I wanted to discuss this one with you. Gulruz Garaman, she's been overseas. She's back in the country now. And that's interesting because she's been accused of 2 incidents of shoplifting of up to $15,000 worth of shit from a place called Scotty's Boutique in Ponsonby. My question for you, I asked Lee Hart this on the commentary on Friday night. If I gave you an hour to walk out of the studio right now, do you reckon you could steal $15,000 worth of stuff?
Fuck, that's a good point. I've gone to hi-fi items.
Yeah.
I've gone for. I'm looking at TVs. I'm looking.
You're at Harvey Norman.
Yeah.
Even then, 15 grand worth.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Jewelry store, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, but I wouldn't stuff that I'd want or stuff that's just worth 15 grand.
I presume stuff that you want.
Because if I went into a jewelry shop and I saw something for 10 grand, invariably it looks like it should be in the Middle East. It's it's gold glarish, it's bling. I don't know if I'd want it. Whereas I'm just trying to think. I couldn't name a clothing store which I'd be able to spend 15 grand in on clothes that I'd want.
Well, I mean, how much AS colour is that?
You just go in there and take the whole shop, wouldn't you? I'd take that whole rack of t-shirts, that whole rack of track pants, the whole rack of hats.
It'd be like 1,500 pieces of clothing from there.
That is a lot.
It's a staggering amount of stuff.
Because, I mean, beds are expensive these days. I looked at a new bed, and you're looking like a Californian King kind of memory foam bed. You're looking at 10 grand.
Jesus.
It's hard to shoplift a 10 grand bed.
No.
Unless, wow.
For Gulruz Garaman, she's,
What's she nicking? It must be jewelry.
Well, this is the thing. They're not saying what it is because I presume the matter is actually with the cops. So I presume they can't talk about it. But obviously everyone's tearing her a new one for
15 grand. I didn't know it was 15 grand. I presumed
2 incidents as well.
I presumed it was something like, $100 pair of Knicks that she put on and then put her pants on.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Like, did she accidentally? I've accidentally shoplifted before, where I walked out of a Kmart with a T-shirt over my shoulder that I forgot was over my shoulder, and I was standing with my mate because I wasn't buying anything in my mind. Guy 2 counters over goes, "Sir, I can help you over here if you'd like," and I don't know why. I just said, "No, thanks. I'm just shoplifting today." And he looked at me with his mouth wide open, and because I was just joking.
But you had a shirt.
I had a shirt draped over my shoulder as I looked this employee in the eye and just went, I'm shoplifting today. And then I walked out of the Kmart with this shirt over my shoulder. My mate, who didn't really know me that well at the time, he was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Did it have a tag on it?
Nah.
So you actually legitimately shoplifted?
Yeah. I legitimately shoplifted a $15 t-shirt.
Can I just ask at Scotty's?
Reach out, Golriz.
Scotty's Boutique. Do they not have security tags on their clothing?
If you've got $15,000 clothing,
yeah,
put a fucking beep 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 on it.
Or is beep 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 beep? Is that not is that
low rent?
Is that low rent? The beep 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 beep. I don't know about that.
I think they're going to have to start now. And final question: hottest MP?
Yeah, close to it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of nationals that are coming.
Jenny Shipley, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do us for today. For the Agenda podcast, we'll be back again with another episode tomorrow.
Are we going to leave? Can we just leave on this bit of commentary gold from Australia?
Of course, yes.
This is some great grassroots commentary out of Australia.
Don't even know what the competition is, but this piece of commentary was sent in to us. It is up on the Instagram page if you want to watch it too. But to be honest, the audio does it all the justice. We've been accused of some lowbrow commentary in our time, but I think this really sets the bar, doesn't it?
It's honesty at its finest.
Yeah.
I'd just like to see some more aggressive tactics from the fielding side here. My mouth is very dry because I've had a line of cocaine.
Tremendous commentary.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.